What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you about NIO. They do have their earnings slated for this week. So I want to go over some of the current expectations, break it down on what just came out from the company itself and where I see things going from here. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. Starting off, NIO did go up 2.54% on Friday. It's kind of moving in the right direction based on the price action, and as well you do see more of an increase in institutional presence. So even on Friday there was 65.9 million shares being traded, 37.5 is the average. These are all the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. So over the last several trading days you see a very big notable increase, as well even on the dark pool. So dark pool is often enough linked to shorting as well as just larger entities. A couple big ones on Friday, so 11 million, 5.54, and you guys can see the rest, and right here's the rest of them. So I think all in all that is fairly positive, whether it's optimism associated to their upcoming earnings or maybe typically their August numbers, which did come out today. Maybe there's optimism associated to either or, but I'm going to go over both, starting off with our upcoming earnings. So it is slated for the 5th pre-market. These are the current estimates. So negative 30 cents for the earnings per share, and then 2.43 billion for revenue. And then over the last 90 days, you've seen 1 positive and then 3 negative revisions coming from analysts. And so at this stage in the game, I feel like the whole market is just looking for future guidance. So like, what is NIO doing about their sub brand, right? Is that so far on schedule? Like, do they sound confident about that? The market's going to be very fickle. And even over and above that, their cash burn, and are they on track for profitability? Like, there's going to be so many of those types of things that the market's going to be really picking apart for NIO. And looking right here, so basically earnings per share does represent 35.9% year-over-year growth. That's at negative 33 cents. For analysts, high of, it looks like, negative 26, low of negative 36. So it's kind of all over the place. And for revenue, this is where you have 6 analysts paying attention to it or giving estimates, and that 2.43 billion does represent 101.74% year-over-year growth. So fairly good stuff in that regard. Oddly, it looks like Q3, the year-over-year for revenue, is expected to be negative. So that's kind of a eye-opener, but still, let me know your thoughts on that. Is there any other kind of attributing factors that you think the market is really going to care about for future guidance? So what's your thoughts on that? One thing that most likely they will bring up in their earnings, I haven't seen any official PR, but I did see it floating around on social media, is this. So right here, they're charging. So they did state that they're going to have really ramp up on their infrastructure of the swap stations. So yeah, I think that should be good. Again, that could attribute to a little bit higher in expenses. So that's how the market might interpret that. But definitely, I think NIO is moving in the right direction, and rightfully so, right? If they're really doing these numbers every single month for the most part, you're going to need a lot more kind of swap stations everywhere pretty much. So they did put out their numbers first thing this morning. So August 2024 delivery update, they did deliver a grand total of 20,176 vehicles, bringing the grand total for 2024 128,000 and change. So that is 35.8% year over year. Very good stuff, moving in the right direction, on target. So that's exactly what the market does like to see. And like I said, NIO's hitting the marks. It's kind of funny to see the fact that NIO is trading at these levels on the PS ratio. If you kind of take Lucid's PS ratio, NIO should be at like $15, $16 as of right now. So who knows? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. This week should be fairly interesting. Shorts for the most part have been kind of timid. You can kind of see that they did return a little bit, but maybe they're waiting for some negative data. But yeah, generally it's been trading between that 12 to 13% range for a very long time now. So maybe this upcoming earnings will be that deciding point to see if shorts do truly start to just get the hell out of NIO or if they do double down. But on Friday, shorts did increase 735,000 shares. 13.7% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 178.94 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost of borrow average 5.86, utilization 78.55, and short score is 78.77. 1.97. So a lot of people are saying that NIO is a squeeze play on social media. In my opinion, I don't really see that feasible, like unless they come out with a very, very good positive surprise catalyst. I don't see it being done. But then again, what do I know, right? I'm not a financial advisor. You guys do your own due diligence at the end of the day. Looking at options, you've seen a little bit more of an uptick in volume getting in. So from Friday, 1.97 million, 777,000 in puts. 51% of all the options being done on Friday were bearish. This is kind of the current layout for the call options. One thing that I just wanted to bring to your attention is looking at the open interest for the August 30th change, so the one that just ended last week. With NIO closing above $4, that does mean that the 16,000 in open interest at that $4 strike price and then the 3,000 at the 350 is all going to be considered in the money, meaning market makers are going to have to go to the open market to buy that, because market makers don't have readily available a lot of kind of volatile stocks such as NIO. They'd rather just wait to see what happens based on the options activity and then kind of adjust accordingly. Since the market is closed on Monday, means on Tuesday they'll be buying roughly around 2 million shares essentially. So that could be more of a nice uptick initially. First thing, whether it sticks or not, we'll just have to wait and see. But as of right now though, with it at 404, it is trading between these 2 points. So the S3 and this S2. So 377 will be a strong support, and then 408 will be that next strong kind of resistance / target, which in my opinion, I feel like it will trade between this S2 and this S1 come Tuesday. Based on IBKR, the Elliott Wave Technicals, it does have a pivot point of 367. So kind of just watch for that to be the make it or break it point, either above or below. For as long as it is above that pivot point, then it is anticipated to get between kind of the high fours. If it does break below that, then it is anticipated to kind of break below that $3 mark. So the options activity kind of mimic the exact same thing. So a lot of people are just anticipating a hell of a lot of volatility. I think even the options are signaling like a 15 to 20% swing as a byproduct of their earnings. So this earnings is going to be kind of a big deal for NIO. And on the actual chart itself, so it is still higher percentile of the Bollinger Band, about to test that 50-day moving average. So if it is able to really get above that due to even what they put out for news today, so their August numbers or their earnings, this is where you could see a nice push higher. Based on my last video, everything was pointing to kind of higher highs coming. And so I think I did my video kind of like right here. And I said, essentially, if it does get over that 50-day moving average, historically, based on NIO, at least like a 15-20% run does happen. So it all will come down to the technicals, their earnings, what they really give for future guidance, what the key metrics are going to say, and just generally if larger entities will continue the good amount of buying that's been happening, both on the dark pool and as well the secondary market. But looking here, it has gone from very overbought to somewhat neutral. So it is at 40, no real defined trend right now. So this week again will be a very big week for NIO based on the technicals. Number of retail investors have been getting in. Looks like on and off, they took a little bit of a couple day break here, but looks like ever since the 28th or possibly the 20th. But nonetheless, I think there is a little bit more optimism associated to NIO. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think that is valid or no? What is your thoughts on, for instance, these numbers and just their earnings? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Hopefully everyone's having an amazing weekend thus far. And one final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it. They give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So this is a kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.